Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Effective Leadership Strategies in the Workplace. Today, we're going to be talking about moving from adversity to advantage. Moving from adversity to advantage. As a leader, you're going to experience a lot of adversity in your role, and that's not a bad thing. Adversity really helps you to prepare, it helps you to learn to be more proactive instead of reactive, right? It helps you to build your team together, and we're going to talk about how to do that. The first thing you can do in turning adversity to advantage is being self-aware. Now, we've spoken about this before. When you are self-aware as a leader, you are responsive and aware of everything that's happening in your body. When stress arises, when adversity arises, you're feeling, that you're aware of when your body is feeling off, when you're feeling a little bit nervous, you're checking into that, you're acknowledging that, and then you're reacting to that. When your head, in terms of what's happening cognitively, and your brain is moving quickly, you're having a lot of thoughts about what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you should approach something. That is your body telling you to slow down, take a deep breath, take a step back, and to look at what's happening in your world in a methodical, practical, actionable way. And proactive way. Okay, when you're in a state of proactivity, you're able to look at what's happened in the past, think about how it's going to impact your present, and then think about how you can be more effective in the future. When you find yourself reacting to something emotionally, your body is telling you something and you're reacting in an emotional way, as a leader, you need to check in with that emotion because that may be very well what you are giving back to your team. And as a leader, that is not a strong leadership skill. It's not an effective leadership skill. So what we're going to do today is think about how you as a leader is going to take something like adversity, which happens to everyone, and move it to advantage. The first thing that you're going to do, we talked about self-awareness, right? After that, you're going to engage your employees. An engaged employee is a retained employee. So how do you engage your employees? You check in with your employees. You ask how they're doing. You support them in their effort. You find out maybe how they'd like to address a situation. You incorporate their ideas. You let them know that they're being seen, they're being heard, and they're being valued. And as a leader, you are engaging yourself, making sure you're aligned with your organization's goal and your organization's mission, because an engaged leader is a retained leader. You want to make sure you're properly aligned with what's happening in your organization, their mission, their vision, their actions. Are you walking the walk in an authentic, transparent, and honest way? If you're not aligned, you need to step back for a moment. You need to think about where you're not aligned. You need to adjust and align yourself with the messaging. And if you're at a place in your leadership tenure that you can't find that alignment, it means maybe you're not clear on the messaging. It means maybe the messaging has changed, and you need to think to yourself, what is it that I need to do to find that sense of alignment? Because you then are delivering messaging, you're delivering information about practices and protocols to your team members, and you don't want your messaging to ring hollow. You want it to be transparent, you want it to be clear, you want it to be informative, and you want it to be aligned. As a leader, in order to turn adversity into advantage, you want to make sure that you're collaborating, facilitating, and guiding your team. So what does that mean? In terms of collaboration, you're bringing people to the table, people that maybe didn't have a voice before, and you're asking them to weigh in on a solution. You're asking them to bring their perspective, their honesty, their transparency, and their experience, which is different than yours, and their experience to the table, so that you can think about all the different options and different avenues that you can attack an issue. You're laying it all out, and you're being clear so everyone understands what's at stake. You're guiding your employees, and you're facilitating learning with your employees. You're not doing it for your teams. You're setting up systems, right, amongst your team so that they can identify what they need to do to move forward. We talked before about leading from the front, leading from the side, and leading from the back. You're going to do all of those things when you're guiding and facilitating learning and professional development for your teams. You're going to lead from the front and show them different ways that it can be done. Not your way, different ways that it can be done. You're going to lead from the side and walk along, provide that support, provide that guidance. And then you're going to lead from behind and let your team take the lead sometime. That instills trust and that instills respect from you to your team and from your team to you. Another way to turn adversity into advantage is to ensure professional development. Remember, your team is constantly growing. You're constantly growing. Identify ways and ask your team for ways that they would like to grow, that they would like to flourish. Because what you're doing is you're building your bench strength. A leader is not successful and doesn't get to a successful place all by him or herself. They need a village of support. They need a team that uplifts, a team that supports, and a team that aligns with their messaging. In addition, the leader needs to provide the guidance, the support, the professional development so the team can continue to build their skill sets and their competencies. You need to grow the next generation of leaders. And when I say generation, I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about the next iteration of leaders. And by doing that, you're giving effective and timely and honest feedback. You're providing support. You're providing opportunities for your teams to take the lead. And you're providing opportunities for them to grow by interacting with other people, by building those skill sets, and by strengthening those leadership competencies. Today, we talked about moving from adversity to advantage. And I gave you some very practical, actionable things that you can do today with your teams to help them be a part of that process. Thank you so much for joining me today in Effective Leadership Strategies in the Workplace. I look forward to seeing you next week, and don't forget to subscribe to this very channel. Bye-bye.